all women who are murdered in South Africa are murdered by their intimate partner. 50%.
50%.
Yeah, unfortunately, the people that push propaganda will not give us the data the other way around. Because I can tell you now, luckily we've got a story like Uflaba. Every now and then, get a story of a chick has killed her boyfriend. But those ones don't get much hype because there's an agenda to get genders to fight.
Once in a while, 1 in a million. Yeah.
It's because they don't push the story. But with women, any random girl killed by her lover or whatever. Men get killed by
whose problem is that? Is it the people that are reporting the stats or the victims that are not reporting the cases?
It's the victims.
Okay.
Yeah. It's the victims. But they're also held by society. You must understand, as men, even within each other, if you came here to cry on this podcast, my girlfriend cheated on me, Ntwana, I don't know what to do, I'm so sad. We'd all be like, Ntwana, no, stop. Don't know how you so discuss out. We suppress you telling your story.
Yeah.
You go on Twitter, you tell the story, girls will laugh at you. OMG, look at this guy crying. So we've created a culture where it's not comfortable for men to tell their sides, but they must. I'm here to say men must. Someone out there created this narrative that men, I'm not saying cry and be soft, no. I'm saying just tell your story. Be like, my chick's cheated on me and I decided to stay with her. How, Twana? You'd be surprised how many men get cheated on and stay with the chick. They stay. I mean, we laugh at Will Smith and Jada Pinkett and August, but many men do that, but out of his scam, they don't tell. So then it's like, well, women don't cheat on men. It's men that cheat on women. It's because the women speak out, the men don't. With that thing of 50%, which is crazy. Now, this is 50% of women who are killed. We don't know the stats of how many women are beaten, almost killed by their intimate partners, which means a huge part of violence enacted on women is by their lovers. It's like a random tsotsi out there, skebeng out there, will see a woman be like, ish, yeah, maybe not, let me keep it moving.
Yeah.
But then her lover will be the person to hit her, whatever.
Even kill her.
And kill her.
Yeah.
Because there's an insanity in love.
Insanity.
There's an insanity in love. There's an insanity in how we've been taught to love.
Yeah.
One of my favorite lines, I post it every now and then, love is a mental illness.
Okay.
I posted to such an extent that some people are starting to bite it now. And when there's a story of GBV, they post and then they tag me. Pen is saying, Donna, love is a mental illness. When you love your children, you are willing to do almost anything for them.
Okay.
A mother will fight a lion to protect her baby. On any other day, she would run away. But because she loves her child. So there's konuklanya that's involved with love. It's whatever is logical. I've got 50 rand, let me save it. I've got 50 rand, my chick is here, let me spend it with her. Your brain doesn't function logically. It's like the chemicals go wild.
You lose your rationality.
You lose your rationality. You stop thinking logically. If you look at what men are willing to do for a chick, wake up at 3 in the morning, say, Donna, please send me money, Donna, I want to Uber this chick, travel to another province, steal some, the things men are willing to do for sex, for a relationship. Ask them to do the same thing for their business. Donna, it's 3 in the morning, Donna, come on. But if the chick is like, listen, I'm horny, come now. She does like,
it's jumping.
Donna, Penzo, yeah, Donna, it's 3, what's going on? Donna, you literally woke me up at 3 to go, fuck. If I'm like, Donna, asambe so span. Donna, 3, Donna.
Yeah.
The things we are willing to do for sex and love are crazy. I mean, some of the greatest, now on the positive, some of the greatest movies, songs, artworks, stories are love stories. You know, your Romeo and Juliet, even though it ends tragically, paintings that are done, nudes that are done, songs, even heartbreak, like Adele, Welcome to Heartbreak, Kanye West, like love and its things inspire so much. Whenever I've been confused around how to move in the world, I tend to study the animal kingdom because I believe human beings are largely animals. And when I look at sex and dating and marriage, my template comes from animals. not what human beings have created. This thing of dating is a human created construct. This thing of marriage is a human created construct. What do animals do? Because animals don't date. Animals don't get married.
And they procreate all the time.
They procreate and they have a way of doing things. So I look at them and I'm like, how do we take this and use it as a template for human beings? A lot of male animals will have more than one female partner. They procreate and they generally stay with them. Because animals don't like, hey, I've got kids at Etegwini, but I'm based in Cape Town.
Like
Animals are there. We used to be like that, specifically as Africans. If someone were to say African men in the past were present fathers, it's because they had nowhere to go to. Ububa nesibaya and your woman and your kids. Uzoyapi. You're going to run away and go to another. People ask you, who are you? Where are your people? And they'll send you back. Or they'll send a messenger to us, which say, Molefi is here. He says he comes from your village. Hey, Molefi left his woman and kids here. Hey, Baba. Go back. Today we live this capitalist life where you're like, I've got kids in Durban, but I have to go work in Joburg because the colonial systems force me, versus being in Durban working the fields with my wife and my kids. Animals do that. They hear, we're hunting together, whatever I catch is for my kids. If I work here and my kids live here, whatever benefits I have, my kids will have it, even if I don't want. If I live around my kids and have a plate of food and I'm like, ish, okay, here's a piece of me, even if I don't want. If I'm far away, isolated, my kids won't benefit from me. So we need to rework sex and dating from, I think, an animalistic perspective. We have what we call freedom today, which has really destroyed human beings in that sense. We have normalized having sex with someone where you guys don't have a deeper agreement with each other. It is good enough for us to just fuck and move.
What is a deeper agreement?
A deeper agreement is you will not touch my body unless you are committing to take care of it.
Take care of it.
From a child perspective, women are normally burdened with this. Having a child is meant to be a commitment. You're not meant to be like, we had a child, but someone else must raise the child. Of which some people do. They chuck children in dustbins. They leave them at an orphanage. So in Nigeria, you're happy to have a child and then dump. So that's what we do with sex and intimacy.
Nowadays.
Other people have a child. They're like, I don't care what, this is my child. No, let it go. Ganjani. This is my child though. We don't do that with intimacy. Where you're like, this woman has let me into herself, into her DNA, into her ancestral memory. I'm now going to plant my DNA and my ancestral memory in this girl. I can't let her walk around as if she's mine. Yeah. I bonded with her on a spiritual, deeper than, on a conscious level. If you watch the movie Avatar, and even if you look at The Matrix, they stick a thing in the back of the head. In Avatar, the creatures there have this ponytail thing where they connect with animals, etc.
And plants.
Yeah. You're connecting. We are connecting consciousness. When I'm inside this woman, we are literally one being. Now we've normalized doing that careless.
With a lot of people.
And it's...
What is wrong with that?
So we were speaking about your ancestors and your what. You can only imagine if you are carrying your mom and dad and your grandparents and your great-grandparents and your great-great-grandparents and your great-great-great-grandparents. When you're connecting to her, she's carrying the same, and they are all now physically present.
It's okay. Yeah.
And you're in a space where there's a stadium of people watching you guys connect. And then right after that, you rip it apart, and then you go and do that with another one. You have to be confused. People speak about soul ties, and some people speak about being depressed because you're sleeping around. And when we speak about detoxing from food, social media, some of it is meant to be celibacy. Stop having sex. Stop connecting with other people's consciousness and fucking up whatever kind of situation. I'm not saying only sleep with one person, by the way. I'm saying just be aware of what you're doing and then own the consequences. But we've become bastardized to a point where we think this is normal. And then we don't understand why the world is a mess. And the people who are more disciplined in either one partner for life or polygamy in the sense of the Muslims, the men are allowed to have up to 4 wives. But this is all. This is all. This woman, I met her as a virgin when I was a virgin. All she knows is me. All I know is her. And then my other 3 wives, I met them all as virgins. All they know is me, and all I know is the 4 of them. And we keep it here. And they are sister wives. They understand each other. And the consciousness is on the same wavelength. And our kids are all here. We are protected from external spirits and energies and whatever because we're all here.
Now, hypothetically speaking, actually not hypothetically speaking, reality-wise, you've got a whole lot of. So if I were to bring everybody who is in this building right now and say, okay, how many people have you slept with?
That's intersections.
And we try to think of it in that kind of analogy, right? And then now we say, okay, maybe this is a sample for, the rest of the population. What is the solution?
We have solutions. We just left the solutions.